and welcome back to our podcast. For those who don't know, I'm McCoy.
I'm Kimmy.
And I'm Natasha.
So, as you can tell already, we're kind of channeling different looks, different vibes. I'm here giving you royalty every day, all day. Nothing new.
Yeah,
Tammy's
yeah,
here, and
yeah. Just feeling dead on the inside, to be honest. I'm tired.
I love
I'm
the
actually
gothic,
tired.
Afrocentric look. We have that. And we have Tasha.
Called going back, leaving 2020, going to that retro stage, That's
Honestly, we
what
all
I'm
need to
doing.
pack our
Love it.
suitcases and leave 2020 because it's not
Legit.
it.
I
It ain't
decided to
it.
de-age. I've decided to go down to the horrors of the 60s and 70s.
I'd rather that than 2020 at this point. But
At this
Exactly.
rate.
honestly, so guys, as you can tell from the title, we are here today to talk about fame and mental health when it comes to celebrities and all of that juice. Because yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Kanye West, and here freaking being a whole mess on Twitter, and it's just we're gonna digest all of that. But before we do, we're gonna play a game that you guys like pretty much enjoyed the last video as well, so you guys know it a bit better. So today our game is two truth and one lie. So for those who
Yeah.
don't know the game, you're meant to say three things. One has to be a lie, and you have to be convincing so that the other people don't figure out which is a lie. Got it? Everyone good? Great.
Yep.
So I'll start
Can
off
I go
first.
first? Oh, okay, you want to go
Okay,
first?
no. Tasha got the juice. Okay,
No,
Tasha, go
if
ahead.
Tasha wants to
Okay.
go
Go
first, let her
ahead.
go first.
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to check because I forgot mine again. Okay, so, number one,
Mhm.
I absolutely love dinosaurs.
Mhm.
Number two, I have watched oh shit, I forgot the name. The Never Ending Story about 10 or more
Are you sure
times.
you watched it? You'll forget the title out here.
Exactly.
And number three is oh shit, what was number three? Oh, oh I am an amazing dancer. Okay, like I'm like all kinds of
Okay.
amazing.
So you
Okay.
love dinosaurs. You're an
Okay.
amazing dancer, and you've watched this movie 10 times.
Yes,
I believe the
never
movie thing.
ending story.
I believe the movie because I feel like you like movies and we're in lockdown, so I wouldn't put that past you. Dancer? I don't know. I don't think I've actually seen you dance. And I remember after a ball, you weren't into dancing that much too. But again, you had a guy chasing around the whole ballroom. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
madness,
The
okay?
way I was capping this up, I was like, nope,
That's
nope.
killing people. My God.
okay.
It's not
Yo,
another story.
that's a
That's
story for
another
another time.
story.
That's a story for another time.
So I'm gonna say the dinosaur because I don't know. I don't see that type of dinosaur like side of you. So I'm gonna say the dinosaur. Tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the dancing thing.
Oh, okay. So what's the lie,
Yeah.
Tasha?
The lie is that I'm an amazing dancer. I'm actually a crazy
Yeah.
dancer. Like, yo,
Oh,
you see me in the
She's
club. Woo!
spastic. She's
wait. So did I
spastic.
get
And
it?
I'm on
Spastic.
the
Did I
floor,
get it
like,
right?
I'm like
No,
No,
you
vibrating.
no,
got
I
it
got it
Like,
wrong.
wrong.
I said
You
the
got it
dinosaur.
wrong. She
Yeah.
loves
I
dinosaurs.
love dinosaurs. I've loved
So
dinosaurs since I was
weird.
like 6. I have like the like
Wow.
little dinosaur stuff in my room. Like I have like probably
That
about
is
like a
Yeah.
big
so weird.
model.
I've never knew
Yeah,
that
I even
about
have my
you.
favorite dinosaur and everything.
Yep.
Well, Tasha can tell you more about that next time, okay? This one, she likes dinosaurs.
Send me a
So
message,
again,
yeah?
remember
Like,
exactly. Tasha's looking for a man, gotta be
slide
tall,
into
rich,
them
handsome, and
DMs.
likes dinosaurs. 3shadesdeep@gmail.com. Sending the applications right now, okay?
Yeah.
Do not send
Timmy.
marriage applications to a business account.
Hey, listen, it's marriage technically it can be business too, okay? All right. So, do you want to go next? Do you want me to go next?
No, I call you go next.
Okay, guys. Oh, okay. Let's make it juicy, shall we? Juicy. Okay. One, I have a boyfriend. Two, I. Oh, how juicy do I want to go? I'm exposing myself here. Okay. Two, I've been kissed by a girl before. Three, three. I have. Oh wait, this is all truth. If I said this, Why am I?
You just explained yourself.
Oh yeah, I just did. Oh my god.
I shouldn't have said anything.
dead.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I know, yeah.
Honestly.
I was looking like, Timmy, don't say anything. Like, shut up.
I just expressed myself.
You want to
Why am I?
restart?
Why am I so terrible with this game? And I explained the games out here like I knew it confidently too. It's a lie.
Oh my god, I'm
No,
dead.
okay. You have to. Okay, we can't leave it there. So that she's already been disqualified for this round. But can we just talk about who was that girl? I saw.
Listen, I've been saying it since like the beginning. I'm fine. Guys want me. Girls want me too.
Wow.
Okay, it's just what it is. It is what it is.
Wow.
I've had like lesbians have crushes on me. I'm like, thank you, I'm flattered, but
Yeah.
I follow the
Oh my
Lord.
god.
I follow the Lord.
Timmy. Oh my god.
No.
That's my
Yeah.
problem too. I feel like I've
me out of
had.
nowhere, and I was just like, okay, are you blessed now? Can we like?
No, I would not be okay with that, yo. I just no.
Timmy, just go and slap some people.
I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like,
mine, and I didn't give you
it
permission
was
to
so
be that close in
random.
the
It
first
was
place.
so
No,
random,
that's
and it's
nasty.
always. It was so random, you guys. Honestly. And then there's the other girl again. This I was just quickly summarize. I go to a club. She was following me around the whole damn time, and I'm like, I've known this girl for so many years. I never knew you had feelings. I never knew you dipped in the same. No, I didn't know. And then you want to target me for the night. I'm sorry, I can't be defined as sugar daddy. You're not a
Oh my
daddy,
god, sugar
okay?
mommy.
No, sorry, it's enough for me.
Lord.
But okay, moving on to Timmy.
Yeah. Okay. I was not prepared, so I just gonna say whatever.
I feel like I'm
comes
just
to
throwing
my
you
brain.
over as well with this whole
Exactly.
I've kissed a girl's tail.
Okay. Number one. I am super obsessed with skincare, like super obsessed. Two. My favorite color is red, and three. It's gonna be so
Okay.
boring. And three is my dad used to own a coconut farm.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to
Nah,
reschedule all of that.
No,
I gotta take it back. I gotta take it back because I played it wrong.
Is the whole truthful? See?
No, okay. So no, okay. I don't know. This game is not complicated. I don't know. We're just
It's like when you're thinking about it.
Exactly.
That's when
Okay.
you
So
like,
number one. What did I say the first time?
but it's good though. It just means we don't know how to lie.
Yeah, we don't know how to.
But yeah.
Or we don't know how to tell the
I have a
truth. So they're all
towel.
lies.
Exactly.
Okay. So number one. I've had my dad is a coconut farmer. Number two, my favorite color
Currently
is
or past?
In the past, he's in Australia. Does it look like you have coconut in the backyard?
Coconut in the
What
the question is that?
trying to catch out that line.
In the past, yeah.
Okay. Number number two was number two. Okay, so number one, my dad is a coconut farmer. Number two, my favorite color is red, and number three, I have had a marriage proposal from someone I met 20 minutes ago.
Ooh.
For someone I met in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, basically.
And then they proposed in person?
Is this like they proposed, or like, would you marry me, or were they like, hey, come meet my son?
Yeah.
It was his family being like, "Now we're gonna come see your family for marriage."
Oh, so they came to ask for your hand in marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the second one again?
She loves red.
My favorite color is red. So these are the three ones. One, my dad's a coconut farmer. Was a coconut farmer. Two, favorite color is red.
It's the coconut.
It's a
yeah, I'm gonna say that's a lie.
really?
Your dad owned a cone farm. I remember he owned a fish farm.
Ooh,
And then
he owned a what?
Flood. He owned a fish farm. And then there was a flood, and I think the fishes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, okay,
Yes,
basically
we got
you're
a
right.
crackle.
My
Yes.
dad used to have, he was a cocoa, he used to own a cocoa farm. Like he used to do a
Mm,
cocoa business and he had a catfish farm as well. Yeah, but never coconuts.
look at your
Yeah,
We
dad.
because
didn't
I
do
This
remember
that.
the
man.
We
story
didn't do that.
was that
Yeah.
like she had coconut trees in her like in the
In
housing
my
complex.
house, yes. I used to have
You know
coconut
Nice.
what
trees in
I
my
thought
house
you
when
were
we
gonna
went
lie
farming
about?
it.
Do you remember back in high school when I first met you? You told me that you're the president's daughter. I
And
thought you
she
were gonna
believed
do that.
it.
Kyle.
She
You know
believed
what?
it.
You know
It
what?
was
That, that reminds me. I feel like I used to lie too. I used to go around telling Barack Obama was related to me, and people believed it. I
I
was
thought if
like,
you
what?
said that in high school, I would believe you.
I said, especially white
actually
people.
the ignorance was
Honestly, I
high.
used to
It
be like,
was
oh,
so
Barack Obama
high.
is a distant uncle. Like, that's how I goes to politics. I'm like, Barack Obama,
Yeah.
wow. I'm like,
What?
yes. Can't you tell the American in me?
Seriously. It was so
I
bad. They really
can't.
used to think that for you to be here in Australia, like you have to be rich or associated with like.
Exactly.
So it was so. Oh
It
no, we
was,
have
but I
grown
like
It
a
was
lying.
so
lot.
out of the blue too. She's just like, oh, so like at the time we were talking about like why she came to Australia, and she's like, oh, I'm the president's daughter
I
of like
can't
And
do
Africa,
I
yeah.
it.
actually said it sarcastically because I
And
was
you
like,
believed
no.
it.
And like she actually believed it, told like her parents and everything. I think it was like her mom that ended up asking me, being like, "Oh, so how's your dad?" And I was like, "Why are you asking about my dad?"
I can't. That is
And then
so
she was like,
funny.
"So weird."
She's like, oh, you know, he's the president, and then she's like,
Yeah.
he's a jerk, and I was like, it's a joke.
For
The way it
months.
shattered my whole life.
I can't. Well,
I
there
was
you
so
go,
proud. I
guys.
was like, oh, I'm the African president's best friend. Anyway,
Yeah,
Well, there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that little game. And stay tuned for the next episode. There'll be some more juicy games. So hopefully this time I don't expose myself and I know how to play
yeah.
correctly.
and we remember the lines.
Exactly. Alright,
Oh,
so
love it.
moving on to the first topic that made you click on this video. Fame and mental health. Kanye story. So Kanye, I keep getting his thing mixed up. Kanye, sorry. So I don't know if you guys have kind of been keeping up to date, but over like what was it, 2 days ago or so, Kanye, you know,
He lost
his
it.
Twitter fingers were itching. His
Yeah.
Twitter fingers were itching. Okay, so my guy hopped on the platform. Been
Not
a
all
whole
for the good reasons,
mess.
man.
Yeah.
It was juicy. Let's just say that it was juicy. My guy went on a rant, calling Chris Jong Un.
I died. I was ready for the memes. I was like, Black Twitter, when you coming? Like, I'm
Chris
waiting.
Jong Un. That's his mother-in-law. You disrespectful as hell.
Oh
But if
my
you think that they have like a
god.
similar hairstyle too, you know?
Listen,
Yeah, Chris needs to like
it's so
slim it back,
creative,
like
but it's so
wax it
bad.
up.
I can't help like give him
Oh
credit
my
for
god.
it.
Yeah. Nah.
So he
Nah.
pretty much just goes on a rampage where he's making all these statements, these claims that apparently Kim and Chris had tried to lock him up for mental issues and stuff like that. And then he exposes Kim as well, saying that Kim wanted to abort their first child, North, but she was pregnant with her, and that he's really anti-abortion because his mother, his father wanted his mother to abort him, which is why it's like, if that had happened, there really be no Kanye in the world. And it's just like he was really emotional about it. He refers to his situation to the movie Get Out, which I was just like, we've been telling you for a minute, okay, but you find this picked up a genre. You were lost the whole time. We were telling you, but okay. So it was quite interesting, to be honest. And so then I have a few questions I wanted us to discuss today, especially when it comes to mental health and celebrities as well. Because I think time and time again, we've seen how messy celebrities can be. And it's been discussed the fact that a particular person may in fact be going through mental issues, but then we don't see the treatment level that most likely would be associated with like a common person being applied to a celebrity, and whether that's due to like special privileged treatment or so forth, and exactly what should the normal standard be when it comes to mental health and celebrities as well. So first, Kimye, just you know what I'm talking about if I say Kimye, it is at this point. So
his name is Conway now. That we've accepted
really,
it.
Kimye,
Honestly, I
welcome
don't
to
know
the
why I keep
community.
hearing Kenya in my head.
You're thinking Kenya
I
more.
don't know why Kenya.
Okay, so Kanye, Kim, and Chris, the whole drama happened as I kind of summarized, and it was due to fact. So in the past, there's been this huge claim that Kanye has a bipolar disorder. Now, for my little understanding, also just to put it out there, the three of us here, we're not psychologists, okay? We're not research people.
No.
Go get your facts elsewhere too, you know.
We don't even know Kanye.
We don't know him, but
Exactly.
we're just talking about him, okay? So in the past, there's been a talk around saying that he's actually mentally diagnosed with bipolar disorder, because then he goes through many episodes and stuff like that. Yeah, so people are saying that this whole rampage on Twitter is nothing more but another example of that. Now, you guys, I don't know if you guys know, has he actually officially been diagnosed with this mental health? If he has, do you think that it's quite dangerous the fact that he's still allowed to be at large, so to say, compared to, say, if another person, a common person, was diagnosed with this disorder? Because the fact that he's been allowed at a large capacity to continue on with his future, his music career, have all this access and platform when he's just like going out there not making sense. Do you think that?
See, I got some opinions because I mean, I did like a little research, and I'm starting to realize that this whole bipolar disorder thing was basically a statement from Kim, his wife. Like Kanye himself hasn't been like, everyone, I'm bipolar. See, for the most part, if you actually look at what other people are saying when it comes to how Kanye has been like wilding out a little bit, everyone thinks it's actually because of his mother's death. So, and most of his breakdowns seem to happen around the time, like the anniversary of his mother's death. So, a lot of people just think that like he might not mentally be okay,
At
but he
peace
might
with
not also,
it.
might not be at peace with it. And so he's like, like maybe a little bit more paranoid about like he doesn't have his mom to be there with him. But like he actually hasn't expressly said that he has bipolar disorder. But
Exactly.
but there's kind of like this whole thing about like medication and all of that. Maybe he's been off his meds, and that's kind of the implication that Kim and everyone else has kind of been giving, that like basically like he just ran wild and free, like he forgot to take his meds one day and just like went away. So
exactly. And that
what is all of this about, and like how did it get this bad, to be honest?
Exactly, because I think what needs to be fully addressed and disclosed is how legitimate actually is his mental disorder, and has he actually been officially diagnosed? Because if he hasn't and he's just continuing to behave like this, then it's just kind of been covered under the rug of mental disorder, when you in fact you have real people who are facing such issues, but they're not kind of able to speak up because they feel they get a negative reaction or like looked at some type of way, because you've had people like this just acting a whole mess. And then that kind of, would you then say it's privilege, because people are kind of comparing Kimye with Britney Spears, and how she had a whole meltdown and she was put into like, and she's still on it. I think it was about 10 or 12 years of overlook, and she's been her privilege of looking over her finances has been like revoked, and it's been like under her management and stuff. Despite her being on like a lot of shows, do you think there's a level of perhaps privilege even among celebrities in terms of who it gets diagnosed?
I think there really is, because like if you look at it, like Britney Spears, she went through the whole shit, like the way the media had dragged her through the mud. If you remember back in 2007, she was doing drugs, she was doing this, like her mental breakdown was just crazy. I remember as a kid, I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ! Like, what the hell's going on?" Like,
remember that newspaper where she was at the hairdresser, she shaved her hair off.
Shaved her
hair,
yeah.
That was like posted on everything. That's when like I was like, "What is this?"
It was like crazy. But then when you look at Kanye, like not many people really dragging him through the mud. It's more like, yep, okay, he's just having a mental breakdown, whatever. Could it also be because at the time, like back in 2007, we also really weren't looking at mental health as much
for celebrities, especially because you think of it, this is for Britney, it was like she's just a child actor, now lashing out type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, like kind of like similar to like Justin Bieber and how he kind of went wild for a little bit too. Yeah,
exactly.
So, I remember when he came to Australia. Literally got banned from Australia.
He was weird. But with the whole Kanye thing, some people are thinking that it's because he's releasing like his new album, and the whole thing is kind of like a PR stunt to kind of like to kind of just like gain more hype around him, so that his album will
sell. So bad. It really is just a PR stunt, to be honest, because mental illness is not a thing to be played with.
No,
exactly, because
really
if you
isn't.
actually look at the video, you can see he's visibly like distraught.
He starts crying.
And, like, and like what Timmy mentioned, when it came to like, you know, him dealing with his mother, if you notice, he really started bawling his eyes out when he started talking about his mom. You know, when he started talking about like, you know, the possibility of him like not existing, possibility of his own daughter not existing.
Probably
You know, and I
then
feel like
instead of bipolar disorder, it probably is just like a panic disorder then, or traumatic experience,
like,
because
I feel like he's
again,
just more. He's just like
mm,
slightly. I feel like it's like something, you know, like he has not overcome yet. Maybe
yeah.
he's like, you know, just like a slight, like, you know, like a manic episode. You can think of it, like
Mm.
emotional, like distress. That's what's
Yeah,
happening.
that actually reminds me. I came across this conspiracy theory about Kanye and his mom and this whole mental stuff. Apparently, because it when Kanye kind of rose to fame, it was just after the passing of his mother. So through the struggles and everything, he felt quite upset the fact that his mom wasn't there for the good side of it. Really, she was only there for the struggle, and she didn't get to see him to actually succeed and be a big household name, all that kind of stuff. And there was this whole like conspiracy going around that apparently Kanye sacrificed his mother to the
I knew
Illuminati
it. I knew it.
to for fame, and then he
That
was
is
okay with it for a few years. Then emotional side guilt came
that
into it.
is some
People got
Nigerian. That
tired.
is some
People got
Nollywood
tired.
movie type nonsense. That is some Nollywood type
People
nonsense.
got
Tell me to
tired.
Like
let
sacrifice
that
her to the
man
witch
live.
doctors.
Yes, like, come on, come on.
Yeah,
Like
so
y'all
that
need
was
to
I
do
don't think so.
better.
I feel like
Yeah.
honestly, like for him, you know, I think it's not exactly that guilt. It's just that like he hasn't overcome his mother's death. You know,
mm,
especially something as significant as your parent figure. And like obviously for him, like his
exactly.
mother has such a big impact on his life. You
Yeah.
know, she was the one that pushed him to become who this successful person who he is.
Mm,
You know, and to
mm,
lose her so early on before he really actually got into his career, you know, it's
mm,
affected him. You know, I think for him,
definitely.
it's like more lines of like, okay, look, I'm here, I'm successful. I just wish my mother was alive to see it. I
Definitely.
think
And
that's what's
Which
I
going through his
also,
head.
yeah, it brings us to kind of like the whole question of like, okay, he's gone and made all these tweets now and done all of this.
mm,
Does he actually need help? Like, because a lot of
exactly.
people were like really worried because they're like,
Mm,
you need
Yeah,
help, but we don't
yeah,
know if
so
we can trust you because of this condition that your wife says that you
exactly.
have.
I
So,
think there needs to be an official diagnosis, and that needs to be
mm,
released by his
because
agency, his people, whatever. Because currently, like we
exactly,
said earlier on, there's Kim is saying one thing, he's saying I'm perfectly fine. We're just trying to like get me locked up like I'm crazy or something, but I'm not. So
mm,
really, what is the story? Like, do you actually need help
exactly.
or not?
yeah,
So that
because
way
like
people
from what
Mm-hmm.
know.
yeah, because what I've been reading is like, you know, Kim and like Chris are trying to get him to like a mental
Mm,
institute. You know, like, is this to get him locked up or is this to get him
mm,
assessed? Like, I think, you
And
know, one way
especially
to kind of
because of
like,
the whole divorce thing that's also coming up as well.
yes.
It's like, is
Yeah.
this
yeah,
being done out of spite? Is it like a revenge tactic?
Mm,
Like, there's so many things to put into play. Like, to be honest
yeah.
with you, that it's just like we just don't know. That's what it all
I think
comes
the
down to.
whole
But there's
family
just a lot of
needs
there's just a lot of uncertainty because they were like, okay, but if he does need help though, like he's actually
exactly.
cried out to the public and no one's doing anything because they don't believe him, which
And
is
because he's a
like
yeah,
bad.
celebrity, so it's like, oh, he's probably
Yeah,
just doing this for the
exactly.
sake of it. And then you've got people like having a kick out of it, like making fun and the
Yeah,
jokes, but it's not. It's a serious man because obviously this man is
mm,
mentally,
yeah, it's like, you know,
physically breaking
exactly.
down. There's something happening there, and then that like professional help is needed. Like he needs to see
mm.
someone for an official diagnosis to be made, for like to put all of this back and forth talk to
And I
rest, and
think
for us
when
to
he
fully
does
know
it,
them.
yeah, I think what he needs to do is he needs to go to a doctor on his own without Kim on his
Mm,
own terms. Even if he
yes.
has to go through like a court judge order or if he has to go through
Mm,
Yes,
his
yes,
agency, I think,
mm.
you know, he needs to do it by himself without Kim. That way, you know, and then
of
he can
course.
actually himself make a public statement and say, I've been assessed, this is what
Exactly.
happened, and this is the outcome.
Yeah, regardless what the outcome is the fact that he needs to get
Mm.
the story straight, and then nothing else would help him better than get actual professional evidence of that. Really. With that, then
Yeah.
that kind of brings me to segue towards the whole issue towards why celebrities don't do that. Then, because I think when it comes, and I mentioned this to Timmy early on as well, that if I was a celebrity and I'm fully known and I am struggling through something, whether it's anxiety or mental breakdown or whatever, I would, in that kind of position, be more hesitant to go seek professional help or put myself to like a rehabilitation center because there's paparazzis are there. There's no privacy where those kind of facilities are meant to be somewhat of a haven for those who need mental peace. So I think that's why celebrities need that. I don't know. I don't think it's this. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's also some celebrities is also they don't want to damage their brand.
Exactly.
If you think about it as well, say you have like this set persona where you're like this happy-go-lucky person, and then for the public to then go and find out you're actually like depressed, you have anxiety, it just ruins your whole image.
Yeah,
and I think that's also kind of needs to be considered in play as well.
And is it just me, or do I feel like mental health in particular is like there seems to be much more of an issue with like people who are famous, like all of y'all that like are like wishing that you all had your big boss living in your mansions, yada yada yada. Like there's actually a price to pay for that because people's attention on you, like that pressure and everything, like it gets to you, and these people feel like they can't trust some of the people around them because they're like, oh, everyone's just out here because I'm rich or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then they turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol and all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden we're sitting in rehab or someone's committed suicide or attempted to commit suicide.
Exactly.
And we can name countless of people who have done that. And then all of a sudden the world is wondering.
Tara Braxton. That's her name, yeah.
Oh my
From
God.
The Real, like
yes,
that's the reason.
Yeah.
She and that's again. So for me, that blew me out of the fish because I used to watch The Real like quite like when they first started. She was on the show, and from like what my understanding from her personality, she's quite outgoing. She's strong. She's passionate. She's confident.
Yeah,
but
that's how it is. Everyone always be like, like they're like, oh, everyone they look so happy. They look so this. I'm like, y'all don't just know that that's part of someone's brand. Like
exactly.
I can't remember the band's name, but it was a long time ago. One of the girls, she just committed like a drug overdose. It was like a girl band. I can't remember. Like, for the love of God.
It was the girl, not Fifth Harmony. It was GRL or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's that?
They were the ones that sang
Ugly
Hearts.
Yeah. And then like
she was black too. The whole world was shocked. They're like, yo, like black people.
Even her bandmates were quite shocked. They're like, honestly,
oh my God, thank you.
You touched on a good point.
You touched on a good point. They're like, honest.
Exactly. I can't remember she had. Oh, sorry. I was like, I couldn't even remember she died of drugs or if it was like hanging. But so many celebrities, even like this year, last year, like even one of the for the love of God, I cannot remember celebrities' names. One of the cast members from Glee committed suicide.
Yes, this was yes. I think it was Corey or something. The one who played Corey.
Yeah. Wasn't it Avicii as well? Died of a drug overdose.
Another one, So that's one of the good things, like tell signs, because you never know. Like people, and again, it's a persona, like we said, like, it's all about the brand, and we need to understand that a person's brand is different from who they are, especially when you're at that kind of level. To be honest, it's like you having a job. When you enter your work environment, there's a different persona that you put on. It's more of a professional one, whether you recognize it or not.
Exactly.
You won't act the same way you do at work, say if you're at home or with friends or whatever. So they're always going to be, and for them, it's pretty much like that, but it's heightened like a million times more because you're literally all cameras and eyes on you. So you have to be a certain way, and even the smallest crack will just affect you. So I think that's why with this whole, we need to keep in mind when we judge celebrities that at the end of the day they're humans. They're working pretty much. Their title is literally their work. Obviously they're going to try to protect that as much as possible, but we need to see beyond that and see perhaps there's something happening underneath that's not being portrayed outside. And that also brings to the point that Timmy just touched on as well, in terms of with the girl who overdosed, she was black. And people found that quite shocking. Again, that kind of brings up the whole thing where in brown and black communities, mental health is not actually seen as a valid thing. It's not really believed in. It's somewhat as a myth, as somewhat as a taboo. So I think maybe this is why. Exactly.
Yeah.
So perhaps, do you think that this is why when it comes to like Kanye or whatever, this is why he's gotten away with it for so long? Because nobody really believes like this strong black famous man who's come from nothing to something is really going through mental issues, about stress or whatever, who's just lashing out. But
that's
it's like,
very true.
When do we need to have the conversation about that at a large level? You've got people in black communities dying every day for mental health because they're not getting the actual help. You've got black celebrities dying trying to commit suicide. When are we going to talk about the fact that black and brown people have mental issues as well and they need help and attention, and not for it to be brushed under the rug and be like, really, black people? We're not always just the angry black woman or the strong black man. That's again sometimes a persona to cover up what's going on.
100%. And like let's talk excluding people like mental health wise. You're like, oh, but this
Doesn't
person has money.
discriminate in terms of
What are
color
they? Yeah, it
or
doesn't discriminate in
riches.
terms of color, riches, the type of job you have. Like people be out there be like, what are you so sad about? Like
You
you
have
live in a
money, exactly.
mansion. Yeah, like if I had this, I'll be doing
Exactly.
this. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like everything comes with a price, you know, like that.
Mm,
And that's why anytime like like as a community, we really need to start being very respectful of
mm,
celebrities that really want to keep their life private. Like they're doing
exactly.
that because they're already doing it's almost like a preventative measure. Just
Mm,
because they're out there entertaining us is does not make us entitled to their lives, to their personal
mm,
lives, the information
Mm.
about them. So if they want to keep that out of the press for their own mental health and sanity, let
mm,
them. Like this,
yeah.
the whole thing has been like it's really enlightening. Like it really does make you think, you know, about a lot of things. So
Mm,
yeah, let's just be a little bit more mindful of the people that we follow and you know the things that we ask of them. It's not always so easy.
yeah. You gonna say
Yeah,
something, Tasha?
exactly. No, I was just saying exactly. I was like,
Mm,
did I say something?
yeah, no, definitely 100% agree with that. And then going back to the issues with the rehabilitation centers and stuff, do you think perhaps then certain, again, I don't know if this is already in place, but if funding should go towards having centers like made just for celebrities for them to kind of get away without the invasion of the public eye or paparazzis or media, anything like that? What, do you think
I
that
think
would
I think
encourage
it
them more to go
I
towards that?
think they should have that already established. Like if you think about nowadays how much celebrities have such like massive like mental issues, just issues in general. I think
Mm,
it's really good to set up just an overall facility,
mm,
just for them so that they can go there, no press, no nothing. Like
mm,
obviously, like if we do have a building just like for celebrities, obviously press will be outside. But at least
mm,
when you go
Mm,
inside, at least you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to
yeah,
worry about what the public will think within there. It's just
mm,
you, only
yeah,
you, and only all you have to do is just focus on your own healing. And I think
I
it's
think
definitely.
it
so
just also
important.
just has to be like better security around those rehabilitation
Mm,
centers
Exactly.
that
Because
are
you never know who's
already
gonna try and
there.
sneak in.
exactly.
Exactly, like when I'm seeing like them taking pictures of like celebrities in rehab, I'm like, but how did you get there? They're like, how does like
Mm,
why? Like that's
It's
the
like
time
mm-hmm.
for someone
rehab
to
in
go
their
away to heal.
homes.
Yeah,
Yes,
like no
yeah, that's
one needs
another
to
option.
calm
Mm,
down. Just like that's not. It's just not appropriate. I
definitely.
think that there should be lines that we shouldn't be like these people should not be crossing. I understand that they're trying to make like their own money as well and
Mm,
have like media, but they should just like that's the thing where I think we've now become like desensitized to people's privacy that
mm,
everything that's what I'm talking about, that whole entitlement to everyone's life
exactly.
that you're just like you're an
Yeah.
entertainer, like I need to know everything, like enough, like
No,
people
because
really
Yeah,
need
that's
and
to
a
I think
work
realize
for
social
them.
media also has
mm-hmm.
to put a play in that as well.
100%,
Because
yeah.
Oh
celebrities,
yeah.
they put up their stories, they go and put up like images for us, they do
And all
live
the
streams.
tabloids are never true, to be honest, which again just
Exactly.
adds
Yeah.
And
fuel
by
to
doing
it.
so, it's like a gateway into your life. It's just
Exactly.
opened a whole new version of like how we can see what you look like, what you're doing
Mm,
at home, what does your house look like, how you're
mm,
raising your children,
yeah,
it's not really good, not very
yeah,
healthy, but
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
No, I get with all of that. So then let's take a step back in terms of going back to Kanye and Kim with the whole mess and
mm,
everything, and the fact now that he's stated that he wants a divorce. I think that's just due to everything and his lack of trust in her and her family now. And just reflecting back what we touched on in our last episode, which was about the whole entanglement in relationships and such like that. Then, in terms of mental health and the public eye and celebrities, talking about fixing yourself in a relationship, because we've discussed about how Kanye obviously is dealing with some kind of hurt following his mother's death, and that still hasn't been resolved. Do you think then, in terms of celebrities, with the whole brokenness and fixing themselves in the relationship prior to, I guess, trying to fix anything publicly? Because from what Kanye shared, Kim and Chris had made the
yeah,
attempt to help him for the sake of their marriage and his mental health. So from that aspect, for me, it comes across as your spouse wants to help you because obviously they see you going through something. But Kanye has obviously taken it across as invasion, distrust.
Mm.
So, and that also kind of plays onto his kind of paranoia as well. When it comes to celebrities, again, in terms of getting help and everything. Where would you guys stand in terms of celebrities having to I guess keeping their relationships private, and where do we draw the line then in terms of we go, okay, this issue may not particularly be a mental health issue, but more of a marital issue. So that's the place where the fixing needs to be first before we kind of jump to conclusion like, yeah, they're just having like mental stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it will always differ with each couple because, like I said, some couples are like, look, you ain't even gonna know I'm married. I'm just gonna release my wedding photos at some time and be like, I was married for a year, and you're not gonna know because they
It's like
understand that
Beyonce when she got
public.
pregnant.
Yeah,
Honestly,
she's internal because do you understand that woman understands? She
yeah,
understands that the
privacy.
public like are just like and unfortunately sometimes not everybody's opinion is nice. People are literally
Exactly.
just there to just hate on you, and you're forgetting that these celebrities are people too. Like just because they have money doesn't shield them away from like disgusting words. Like for example, and I think that that's why even Beyonce, for example, like with her children, with her twins, you don't see them in the media as much because Blue Ivy, when she was introduced,
they
these
went
people in the
into
public
her
on
a
for a child,
child.
so not to talk about a marriage. Like can y'all like actually like think about it? Like some people like have
No
like the strength to be
education,
like,
no
okay, yeah,
upbringing. So
nothing.
you
So
go on a child saying that they're ugly. Like, how nasty is that, to be
it's
honest?
just it's exactly these are the kind of things that people have to take into consideration and be like, oh,
Mm,
if that's how they're treating like somebody like Beyonce,
mm,
I'm sorry, I'm not about to put my marriage on the line
mm,
just to like get my name into a few tabloids or to be trending for a few hours. Like
mm.
no, everything's going to be
Yeah.
completely private. But the
Yeah,
only problem with that is that the more private your life seems to become, the more people always want to know about it. So take for
exactly.
example
Yeah.
people like Megan and what's his name, the prince or whatever. Their
Harry.
life was
Oh,
private.
Harry, yes.
Harry, yes. Oh Jesus, I always forget his name. But yeah, like I don't know why. But yeah, like Harry and Meghan, my God, they tried to be private, and it was like they did not want to release a photo of their child. And it was like the internet was like, we deserve it. I'm like, what do you mean you deserve it? It's their
Exactly,
child.
that
You
is sense
guys
of
Well,
are
no,
not
there
gonna
was some
entitlement.
conspiracy theory about the child as well, because apparently it was like that Megan lied about when the child was born and like how old the
yeah, it
child
was
was. It was like the child was like apparently like when they first released the photo and she was like, yeah, my baby's like just born. I think it was like 3 days old. Apparently it was like a week old. People were like
Mm,
assessing the baby, and I was like, really? Like it
mm,
just looked like a very
it's
old
just it's
baby, you
none of
know?
y'all's
mm.
business. That's what it all comes down
Honestly,
to.
I think
So
there's too
like
much assumptions. There's too
Exactly.
much entitlement that just makes the public like vultures when it comes to celebrities' privacy. To be honest, but in that regard, then
Exactly.
with Kanye, because what I think where he was trying to come from was he didn't see that as helping but fixing in a sense. So then,
mm,
when we say okay, marital stuff needs to stay within the house, and you guys just sort it out first before you take it to like the media eye, but in that regard, if someone truly believes that their partner is not wanting to help them for the best interest of, like, a genuine interest in a sense, but rather wanting to fix them to fit into their perfect life, then do we feel like the public has then a right to be like, you know what, you right for speaking out. This person is not actually wanting to generally work on you but trying to fix you as if you're broken already then. So I think that's where the
yeah,
whole thing where Kanye is coming from.
there's also like there also seems to be like a layer of mistrust between them as
Mm,
well because there
yeah.
was like a whole lot of like cheating allegations.
Mm,
Obviously Kim's past as well affected their marriage and things, and the thing is with someone
yes.
like Kim, her life was already in the public eye. Like she literally like that's her
Yeah.
business,
Oh my god, that
is
reminded me.
everything being in the
In
public
one of the
eye. So
texts, he said, or was it the text, or I think it was one of the messages he's put out the video. He said that when he met Kim, he said that he swore in a way that she would never release a sex tape, but then she did. So I think from
Yep.
the very early
yeah,
beginning, there was distrust there
there
where
was
he
there
felt
was
he was trying to protect her reputation, the relationship, but she chose fame, money, and money over him in a
mm-hmm.
sense. And I think that
Yeah.
may have been a downfall of their trust. But he still loved her. But I think things throughout the years have added on to that. And then the fact that she wanted to abort his first child, I think that again
I thought it
triggered
was like
stuff.
he wanted to abort
Yeah.
the child because he's like, my mommy saved me. Like, you know, like, and he
No,
looks
so
like
that's
he's
no, he's anti-abortion because of that. And then Kim was considering aborting North when she was pregnant with her, and that's where I think it triggered him and his
Yeah, but
experience
didn't
and
he
what he
also say,
found out.
I almost killed my daughter? I almost killed my daughter.
Did he?
I think it might
Yeah.
also, so that's the thing. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, we're not really gonna know what happens. Him
Mm.
saying I might also be like him kind of like accepting
Wait.
responsibility. Yeah. Because he's like,
Yes.
okay, I'm in this with my wife together.
Mm.
So
Mm.
whatever she does is also a reflection of my
On me.
actions and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like even Kim was like, oh, like I was really betrayed by him sharing that type of information with the
Mm.
public because it's like it's no one's business. Why did you have to bring it up? So
Mm.
again, it just seems like if there's that level of a distrust, so much so that you feel like you need to share personal details of your life with the world so that like they can like verify it, like that's already a mess in itself. That's why I just
Exactly.
in conclusion,
I think
I would not be getting
it's just
anybody
a
favors.
cry
That's
for
too
help.
much. Like
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think
it
overall,
is.
I think overall, Kim and Kanye just themselves have a lot to go through as a couple. I think the both of them definitely are criticized a lot. Especially with Kim, because the whole issues with her when it comes to the public eye is the whole concept of culture appropriation in terms of from looks, but the whole family, all of them, and the fact that there's this trend of them suddenly dating black men. And it's like it's as if they're collecting black men like a
feticizing like
exactly
Literally.
exactly, and it's
It's
just
like
it's a
the
whole
moms, the sisters, like everybody, like all the
yes.
children. There's only
And
one
then,
sister that only has white children.
I
They
think
all have
it's
mixed
Kendall.
children.
Yeah. So the
No,
whole
it's
question then,
Courtney.
and
Is it
Kendall
Courtney?
she's not dating a black guy.
Kendall's
Sorry.
not dating anybody, but Courtney's the only one with white children, like
That's
fully
true.
white
She's
children.
with Scott. So yeah,
Yeah.
with the whole issue then that she's been like, she has this whole issue of being like pretty much charged with this whole claim. And there was the whole I remember it was about a year ago or 2 years ago, so when it first came out, and there was whole debate of the family saying, no, we're not here culturally appropriating anything, rather we're appreciating it. And it's like, no, there's a level of appreciation and difference. So exactly then, what classifies as cultural appropriation really then? Forget what anyone says, forget what the tablets. As black and brown people, what does cultural appropriation mean?
Cultural appropriation is taking somebody else's culture and not acknowledging the source of that culture and calling it your own. That is it. And the story. Her saying, like, for example, a good example, calling cornrows Kim K braids. How?
What?
Like,
look at that. The
I'm
makeup,
done.
the latest one that she's been in hot water with is the what's it, kimono?
Yeah, kimono. She
I
wanted
thought
to
she
trademark
wanted
kimono. Come on. Literally, it means
kimono.
dress in Korea. Like, how can you trademark a whole language?
That's been there for centuries before you even existed, before your whole family existed. It's just the audacity.
With kimono, I thought she wanted to name, you know, like clothing range she has, like the shapewear. I thought she wanted to name that kimono.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
but then she wants to trademark the word so nobody else uses it. And it's like
she
the whole culture.
That's why I was so confused. I was like, what?
One of them. Yeah, she wants to trade the word. And that's where, like, I feel like there's a whole entitlement. For me, cultural appropriation is nothing more than you. You can admire someone's culture, but to fully dress in it, it kind of comes on as an accessory to someone who's not of that culture.
I feel like
especially if you're not if you're not acknowledging the source of it, that's the main concern.
And you claim it as your own, and you're profiting off it as well, and you don't credit the fact that rather than credit, you're trying to kind of put on the fact that you're here. You can be mistaken as a light-skinned African woman because you're here tanning to get a dark skin. You're here having braids. You're here having
something that like we got criticized as growing
100%.
up.
That's what I'm saying. It's
now
not
like
for
this
them.
hot
It's become as an accessory. It's a fashion. Our culture, our trend, our customs. It's not a fashion for you to pick up when you feel you want a little bit of diversity. You know, you can and you can acknowledge it, you can admire it definitely, but to fully dress in it and then go out pretentiously being as it and the face of it and the creator of it it's like a slap to so many faces, and it's just like no, that's a whole other level.
Like
of
even right down to the bodies as well. Like even 100%. Like imitating black speeches, always getting like thicker ties.
which were
yes, our
criticized for
lips.
centuries and still are. The lips injection, the
Yeah.
big Brazilian butt, the boob lips,
Yes.
the slim waist. So we've been having it from the motherland natural all these centuries, but suddenly you're gonna wear it as fashion. That's not okay with me. That's not okay. And then you try to be
It's
here trying to go on.
Oh, sorry. It's especially like Coachella for me. Like, you know, the bindi, everything, like, and the mehndi and the henna, like.
For cultural appropriation right there.
Yeah.
Michael,
this
please.
is a good question though. Do you then think that Black people can appropriate culture?
White culture.
Here's
I'm sorry, but
here's
like,
an
what white
example.
culture is there to appropriate?
Thank you.
Here's an example.
Thank you.
Here's an
What, do
example
you want me to
though.
go
Here's an
start baking
example.
my own bread? Like, what did they make for me?
Here's an example. Here's an example. So there was this Irish girl. She's a Black girl, Black American. And she started Irish dancing. And basically, she was pretty much cut down by everyone who saw her. They were saying that she was appropriating Irish culture. But then the people were like, okay, but how does that make any sense though? It's not like as if she's saying that the Irish dance is Black.
Oh, she's
that,
Irish.
Like, she's Irish. She literally just said, she's an Irish dancer. But because they've never ever seen a Black person do Irish dancing, they're like,
and she's probably doing it well, though.
Yeah.
They're probably doing it well. There's a level of
If you think about it, then could we then go and like
say, oh, white people who do hip hop are appropriating our culture?
Exactly.
White people who do African dancing
are
are appropriating our culture.
White people that learn how to yeah, it's like white people learning how when they like I've seen a white person, you know, like do the Bollywood dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you guys go to Bollywood class. Oh my, it just reminds me. I saw like there was this white lady. There's actually a store. I'm not gonna name her out, but there's a store in High Point. I went past it. I've gone past it so many times, and from the outside you can tell it's like very Indian style. There's a lot of what's it called? Ethnic kind of like. Exactly, and it's very like. So I always thought it was an Indian.
I feel like I already know the story.
When I went into it one time, I came to find that the owner was a Caucasian woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, dressed in like Indian hair, clothing. For me, I'm like that's a new level of audacity. It's the fact that you like it. 100%, I'm also appreciation because I feel like someone having appreciation for different culture, for me, when it tells me that they are more mature mentally, they're more of an accepting person, they're more of an open-minded person. But the fact that you've opened up a whole store, an Indian store, when you're not even in yourself, to me, that's just unsettling.
I think
and you didn't even like maybe even get Indian employees. Nothing.
Nothing.
I
know there is. Yeah, I know there's one store. I'm not gonna name the company because like it's in Dandenong. But when I went in there, like it's got.
I'm pretty much sure y'all are actually talking about the same store.
Yeah,
actually,
they have a brand. It's like a major branded store. Yeah. We're talking about the same store. Like one issue I have with this is that I walked in the store and if you actually look in the store, it's got like Indian like clothing styles.
Yeah.
It's got like Hindu gods in it as well.
Yes.
And it's got statues and I feel like white people go in there, they don't know the significance of these things.
That's
like,
someone's
for them, it's just like an
ornamental
piece.
Exactly.
You know,
For decoration.
It's not an ornamental piece. This is like something we can deem as a god. You know, because we like in Hinduism they have many gods. And I think that's what white people don't really consider. And like I went and walked in at this white woman employee, you know, and just the way she was dressed. Like I feel like, look, if you're gonna actually appropriate Indian culture, like do it properly. Don't do this like whitewashy, you know, what way you think of it, like with the baggy pants. We're not like you know how when you go to Thailand as well, everybody goes to Thailand to get the Thai pants.
Yes.
They go to Bali and they get
wearing that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. I had it.
Bali braids.
I have a good story. So I have a friend of mine. He's Malaysian. And he was actually traveling back, so he invited me out for like a going away dinner type thing. I attended, I was fine. So upon attending, I arrived late. So there was a few people. There was one particular girl. She was blonde, Caucasian, everything. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting next to her. She engages me in a conversation. I'm thinking, great, we can talk. To be honest with you, I don't converse with white people on a regular occasion. It's a rare opportunity, of course. It's a rare opportunity, to be honest. So I'm like, okay, great, let's just converse. She seems Okay, we started a conversation. So we're going on talking about our jobs, what are we kind of doing, all this kind of stuff. And then out of nowhere, because she was talking about she works for a traveling company, so she works on a cruise that goes around to different countries and stuff. I'm like, that's amazing. The fact that you get your travel in so many countries, you must see a lot of the world. That's really amazing. She's like, have you been anywhere? I'm like, yeah, well, I come from Africa. I've been from South Sudan to Egypt, and then here. So I've kind of been around here and there, but obviously I would like to explore more. She goes, God, that's so amazing. I love Egypt, blah, 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 blah. And the fact that is that she got the whole thing wrong, to be honest. I'm like, first of all, Egypt is in Africa, so technically that's still Africa. I was just naming like the example of countries that I've been to within Africa, but okay. And then she goes about, oh my God, because I had braids at that time as well. She's like, I love the hair. I even actually got a braid before when I went to Bali. My sis pulls out her phone confidently, shows me child. I was like, they took your money. They were laughing at you as you walked out. They were laughing at you.
Oh my God,
You look at them. Well, them braids were raggedy.
That's like me.
So
when I see people
disgusting.
get like the
And
mehndi
then
on
on
their
top of
hands.
that,
Oh, sorry.
on top of that, she was burnt, like red, like absolutely
Like
red.
the eyes were the only thing that were like.
Oh, honestly. And then the fact is, they braided her hair with blonde extension as well. And her hair was blonde already. So it looks like she's albino. I'm just like, it's
Oh
not
my
it.
God.
But I'm like, you see, that's the thing. Like, we can talk about culture, but like, don't come across to a colored person or a brown person trying to have this whole facade of I'm cultured because I've been to different cultures. I know different. Like, just because you know them, it's different from actually knowing them. Like you didn't even know the fact that Egypt is part of Africa. Like first of all, and you getting your hair braided has no correlation to me having my braid. That's you did it for the experience. I'm doing it for the hairstyle, the culture. This is a part of me because you're here showing off the fact that you've experienced it before. You don't need to impress me. I don't care. I really don't care. You spend $15 on this raggedy ass braid. I don't care. That was your money. Cool. So Tasha, you gonna say something?
Yeah, so I was talking about like mehndi. So like what for people who don't know, it's called different names for different cultures. There's mehndi in my culture, but there might be henna in more the Middle Eastern culture. Yeah. With that, like I have such a big issue with that as well because like I know when we go to uni as well. Sorry to call that the uni, but when people do mehndi, I do have a bit of an issue with it, just because like even like with the aunties and like the sisters, they'll like respect you, yeah, but like don't let like white people or like any other people tell you what to do, like how to do it. If you're gonna do it properly. Like when people come like, oh, can you do a star? Can you do a cut? No.
Then it's something else. Then
it's
something else.
It's a design. It's not a tattoo. It's different. It's not a tattoo. You gotta understand that. And also, what pisses me off about that, the fact that henna for like those like diversity days is brought in as like a fashion in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's like for us, henna is not done just randomly. For us, it's done as part of henna nights. Like that's your bachelor night. So it has a rich history of it. For you just to come to it to walk around a parade to feel culture and experience. For me, it's like I was lucky back and forth. Like it's stupid. It's really stupid to be honest.
Like for me in my culture. Yeah, because for me in my culture, like it's common for young girls to get it, but like you only get one hand. But even then, you get a very, very simple design. But like
for
if
us,
you want to get like the full,
it.
With the full elegant design, that's when you get like up to your wrist and you get it on your feet. That's for like when you're pretty much preparing yourself for marriage.
Exactly.
Like that's what the henna night is
initially
for.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're sitting there for like 10 hours, pretty much getting your whole body done to get like this beautiful design on your skin. And for me, I know there's some places that do it, just for the sake of like a fashion trend. I feel like if you're gonna do it, learn the history of it. It's not a fashion trend; it's a cultural thing. That's why we do it.
To be honest, that's actually a very great suggestion because I never thought about it that way. But I'm like, if we then maybe had a poster along with like the henna thing to be like, this is actually where it comes from. Like people are going to be interested to know the history behind something that they put on their body. If so, maybe that's something that like, just for example, I organize events at uni. That's something that I could be like a bit more aware of because I never actually thought about it that way, to be honest.
I think for me, like my biggest problem with that is just the way people want to change the design. Like the woman comes in with the design book Like, she knows
you've
what
paid
she
someone
wants.
to come in. Yeah, if you want to
Exactly.
experience it, you experience it within the parameters that it's set to be experienced.
Exactly.
You can't
Because
just
if you
come
think
in
about
and
it, it's
change the
such a
rules.
long process as
Yeah.
well for them to do. Like,
Exactly.
they're doing very, very simple
And
designs
they're
on your hand.
trained. They're
Yeah.
trained to
Yeah,
this,
exactly. That's true.
Wow.
That's actually that's a very good point because that's what I wanted to say before. Like the whole like thing with cultural appropriation is that people like especially I'm not gonna just say what non-white people basically sometimes will take culture
Say the
and
name.
will
They
take
call it
culture
out.
they will take culture and they don't understand the meaning behind it and say then they're pretty much then using that culture or whatever thing that they've taken based on their own perception, not what it's
Exactly.
actually used for or understanding the history behind it. And that's why you have people being confused and doing things the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
they will, go and wear like African braids in a stupid way because they don't understand like the meaning or like wear head wraps in a certain way and they don't
Exactly.
understand the history behind it and all of that stuff. As opposed to sitting there arguing about whether or not you have a right to somebody else's culture, like just sit there and actually learn for once. Like just sit there and
Definitely.
educate yourself.
I think
I
we should
wouldn't
also
be
talk about
someone.
those people who deem themselves as woke when they're like, oh,
That's
look,
gonna be a
this
whole
is
other
woke.
thing. That's gonna be a whole other
Like,
topic I talk about. Because I think this kind of leads me to a good topic where can black people actually be racist? Because that's one thing pop up recently that's gone
it's like
controversial.
reverse racism.
Exactly, and the whole work
Reverse
movement
racism,
thing,
yeah.
which we will talk about in another episode because this kind of wraps up our session, you guys. But we hope you guys enjoyed this session. Stay tuned for more juicy stuff coming up, more games as well as mentioned. And to kind of summarize, really, Kanye, get yourself checked in, okay? We need receipts. We need the actual record set straight, okay?
And then let Twitter know, okay?
Exactly. Let us know. Your cousins are here to listen. We gotta let it in. Just let us know, okay? Kim, stop appropriating shit. You can't that's the whole culture. That's the whole culture.
Put your ribs back in place, man.
Stop being a mess. Stop being a mess. You can appreciate it, but don't steal. And in terms of fixing a relationship, listen, fix your stuff first in the house before you go to social media. Because social media may be free, but it's not a good therapist. Okay, you better invest in this point to save your marriage.
One that you trust and you feel safe within. Just go to somebody. Like if you need help, get help.
Exactly.
Honestly, whether you're a celebrity or not even a celebrity, there's so many helplines out there. If you need help, get help.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, you guys, get help. Stay, mentally well, physically well, emotionally well, spiritually well. That's how you get your money up. That's how you grow up. That's how you feel good. That's how you do in life. Okay, and that's how you get good sleep. And also, once you finish this podcast, you will have a good sleep too, okay? Because you saw our faces. We just blessed you, okay? Bye-bye.
Make sure to like and follow us and subscribe everywhere as well.
YouTube, and make sure you email us as well if you have any questions. Yes.
Or marriage
we have time,
Okay.
We got time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.